anybody who's watching this right now may know that I haven't made a video in a while. It's not from a lack of wanting to make a video, but I have an abscess in my face, and my face was really swollen. It's a little less swollen, and I didn't want to show it at all, so I wasn't going to make a video, but now I'm just going to show it. You see all that right there? I look like some weirdo, dude. If I go like this, I'm a completely different person. This is me, and this is my fucking face over here that looks like Jim Henson molded it, and I'm doing a little puppet dance with my face, like I'm on somebody's hand, and they got their fucking hand right on up there, right? And they're just filling me up and moving my mouth. There might be somebody down there right now. I don't even know, because that's how it looks to me and that's how I feel. But I just came to this realization that I needed to go ahead and get this story out there. And it's a warning. This is a warning to you all. I don't even know, because we're going to run the gamut. I would say brush your teeth and take your vitamins, right? But I do brush my teeth a lot ever since I started having tooth problems, and it wasn't instilled in me. If you got kids, fucking make them brush their teeth and tell them why. Show them this. And yeah. So, and give them a good life. Because I'm going to tell you, it all starts with that, man. When you're a little kid and you're experiencing terror, you want to escape it in any way you can. And you try all these different things. And luckily for me, I was doing art to get away from it, and I like to play music and stuff like that. But eventually, it just fell into hard drugs. Anything to get out of this life, because when you go into art and you start doing it, you know what I mean? And sometimes you fail at it. And, I found later on that you become great by just feeling, but failures from yourself and failures from all around, from everybody that you depend on, everybody that you look up to, and they all fail, and they just keep, the world just keeps letting you down, you know what I mean? And for some people, it's maybe a little different. But let me tell you what, this created a masochist. I am an extreme masochist. I can handle pain. I have a very high threshold for pain. In fact, I'm kind of fascinated by it. Like, when I feel pain, I want it. I like it. I'm probably one of the few guys that wishes he could give birth, just so I could know. I want to know the depth of that pain that won't kill you. And if it will kill me, is it biological? Is it that men die and women don't? Look at this, I'm Two-Face. I'm fucking Two-Face. It's ridiculous. So, in this masochism, in this pain, I kind of learned how to put it into my life in all ways. When I smoke a cigarette, I take half the filter out because I want to feel the whole thing. I want it to hurt my lungs. A Marlboro Red, I take half the filter out. That way, it's essentially not filtering. And if I drink, I want it to be like a hard liquor that hurts me. And luckily, I stayed away from that only because of selfish reasons. I didn't stay away from liquor because of any reason other than I'm a pussy. And I stay away from like beer and liquor and shit because I'm scared of it. I don't like it. It tastes bad and it hurts. So therein, I was lucky to not be masochistic in that way. Although I went down the alcohol rabbit hole for a little while, but this is beyond the point. When I play guitar, for the longest time, I bit my nails down till they were bleeding, and I got used to it, and I worked it into my act pretty much in my mind, because it was like I can't even really focus on guitar or write a song if my fingers aren't hurting. I wanted them to hurt. I wanted them to bleed, and it was a psychotic mess is what it was. And I don't think I've ever not been a psychotic mess. I don't think I've ever been a fully like fledged, fully perfectly formed human ever in my life, even as a child. I don't think that I've ever been that. And can I ever become that? I don't know. I guess that's like chasing being Jesus, right? Or whatever your idea of what a Jesus may be. So back to the pain, okay? When I smoke weed, I want to get away from the world. And I smoke heavy. So I'll take this huge hit all the time. And it expands my neck out. It goes out way out to here. And it pushes all the blood into my head. And I always was like, yeah, you're pushing all that smoke into your brain and your THC. Yeah, it's fucking, that's how you do it, right? That's how you get the proper amount, or that's how you get really high. And it hurts. So that's like, huh. And I would cough my brains out. And squeezing so tight like that actually gave me like a six-pack. You know what I mean? Over the years. It's kind of like Bruce Lee's method of just flexing your muscles to get strong. So it gave me this like six-pack and this super strong neck. I can hang myself. Like, I mean, I don't know if I got dropped from the hangman's noose. Or from the gallows. I don't know. I probably might snap my neck. But maybe not, because I like have this really strong neck from just choking. But what also happens is I ballooned out my face, and I didn't really realize this at all until just recently. It kind of dawned on me while I have an abscess in my face, and one of my teeth is all fucked up, and I'm gonna get to that in a second. But I'm ballooning up my face, and I truly believe I ripped my face off of my skull, like right here. So, and I think it's always going to be that way unless it stays healed for a long time, which is going to mean that I don't smoke the way I do, which is going to mean I have to stop that, right? And I've never been willing to. And I'm wondering if it's like suicidalism. But you see, if I was suicidal, I wouldn't be panicking over these certain little things. I think it's just like it's an extreme dementia I live in, where I justify things that hurt me. I justify all the things that hurt me. I mean, relationships, having a shitty job for literally 10 years. I had the shittiest job. And no. That job I made $10 an hour for like 20 years. Pardon me. I made $10 an hour for 20 years at this job. And they shut down and it's gone. But I moved on, better job, coronavirus, shut the fuck down. Okay? So I go to the hospital because my face is swollen up and I need antibiotics. I need medicine. I go to the hospital and there's nobody there. I'm in and out in 30 minutes. 30 minutes. They wouldn't let me in at first. They asked me a couple questions, then they let me in. And everybody's just walking around the hospital like it's nothing. Now, all these nurses and everybody, they leave. Let me ask you a question. If you're a nurse, can you comment below whether or not you have to wash up or whether or not you have to get a test every day you come to work? Or if you're allowed to even go anywhere but home? Believe me, none of it makes sense to me anymore, and I'm so pissed off, and I'm pissed off at the whole system because I called my dentist, and I was going to go to my dentist to get my antibiotics because, due to the coronavirus situation, our jobs are all shut down, and it took a very long time for me to start getting my benefits, way too long, to the point where I'm using my benefits now to pay myself back up to where I need to be. So getting that rest of my tooth work done is going to be, I'm going to be a little while on that. Well, they didn't want to give me antibiotics. And I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, well, we've already done this twice. And I'm like, yeah, well, I haven't been able to listen, I'm coming to you guys, you did half my work, and I paid you for it. So we're even Steven, right? You don't have to deal with me anymore. That's true. Can I please have some antibiotics so I don't die? Are we about money here, or are we about helping people? Why did you become a dentist? Why do you get into the health field? Do you do this because you want to better the world, or because it's a very lucrative business decision? I question almost everybody at this point and their decision making. Are you at home quarantining? Do you believe in the coronavirus? if you by now have not learned the truth of the coronavirus, which almost all of the things that I've said have turned out to be true, okay, including the whole like La Brea tar pits in my lungs. The coronavirus can't live if it gets in through my lungs. Oh, it goes in through your eyes. Fucking, I wear glasses. Whatever. I don't even, I'm so sick of it. Okay? It's being manipulated. The whole system's being manipulated, and you guys are being stuck at home. And you know what? I believe most of you to be like opportunistic grifters. You're writing this out to see how much you can get out of it before it ends, right? And you're trusting the government and everybody to not screw us over. But 50% of our jobs are gone. Everybody needs to go the fuck back out there. Why? Because we risk our lives every single fucking day. And it is literally almost impossible. And when I say literally, I mean literally almost. Right? So I'm not wrong. It's almost impossible to die from the coronavirus. And the major age group of people who are dying are over the age that people usually naturally die. So they were on borrowed time anyway. Once you get past like 80 something, you're on borrowed time. You're not gonna, okay. And not to mention that the coronavirus has now become the cure for so many other illnesses. Because if you notice, since the coronavirus came out, all the other illnesses are gone. They're gone. No more other illnesses. I'm so fucking pissed. My tooth is on fire. You know why? Because the hospital, they wouldn't give me any pain medication. I don't do opiates. I've seen it ruin people's lives. I've seen almost probably 50 to 60% of the people that I love in my life go away and become nothing, become jack-o'-lanterns because of opiates. They're literally jack-o'-lanterns. And I've gone there too. You know what's crazy? Speaking of jack-o'-lanterns, my teeth are just like no good. I'm having them replaced. They're being completely redone. You know why my teeth are no good? It's not because I didn't brush my teeth. It's not. It's because every time I choked and my stomach was like, I was fucking up my stomach smoking that hard, putting that much fucking smoke and oils and into my body. The THC is good for you. I believe it to be the fountain of youth. But the way I did it will ruin you. You have to respect everything that has any, you have to respect everything in this world. If it's got anything in it and you interact with it, you have to respect it. I disrespect everything. I'm a fucking moron. Learn from me. Because after all that was done, I fucked my stomach up so much that I then developed bulimia. So for many, many years of my life, I have thrown up almost, I would say, on a weekly basis, on a quarter weekly basis. So I sometimes throw up every day. Like when my diet's really bad and I'm smoking a lot and I'm just fucking, and I'll be sitting with my friends, and you can ask them. There was so many times where I'd be just chilling with people who hit the J. Oh, I'm coughing my brains out. Everybody's like, damn, Andy. I run off to the fucking side, coughing, and I just fucking puke. And it's like a fucking turkey. Like a fucking turkey. Only with a bathtub faucet attached to the turkey's mouth. So when he goes, you also hear this. And I would just purge everything from inside me. And then my mind was like, you know what? My girl, or whatever girl that I was interested in at the time, would compliment my body. But guess what, guys? Wrong way to get it. Bulimia, anorexia, these are the wrong ways to become attractive. You know? And let's face it, man. You know, it's just like that skit. Skinny guys, you know what I mean? They just come to the party and get the free sex, you know. So, God, you know, and and that's another power. And if you don't respect that and take advantage of it, it will fuck you over, because you'll be left with so many different girls who don't fucking like you anymore, or who do like you and they feel like their heart is broken. And how can they, you know, how can you live with yourself being such a jerk? How can you? You got to turn your life around. but it could be too late. Because like I said, I've ballooned my face up. So I had an abscess one time. It was over here. I got these drilled out. I don't know what's going to happen to me. I don't know. This thing here in real life would have killed me. If I was in the wild and I was an animal and I lived by the true nature of the beast, there would be no doctor to fix it, and it would get so big that it would burst out the side and pus, and then I would be dead in, maybe a couple of weeks to a month. That's just how it would be. But also, I may have already been dead by now because I can't see. My natural vision is not 20/20. I can't truly naturally see without assistance. So I was already almost destined not to survive. But here, in the world that we've created, we have made it so that survival is easier for those of us who have less ability, natural ability. I can't express how much to you I want you all to rethink everything you're doing, and if it may be hurting you, it might be hurting you. Somebody you might be around, somebody you might be with, something you might be eating too much of, something you might be smoking or drinking too much of. It's going to catch up to you. I am 40, 41, 42 maybe, I can't remember. And my body is just breaking down. Okay? I have a lot of work to do to get myself alive. And the sad part is I didn't want to be alive until it was too late. And now I do. And now I want to get everything done, but how do you come forward from such a hell? I'll tell you how. You wake up in the morning and you do what you got to do. I fucked up by not going and getting my face checked on the moment my tooth started hurting. I should have known right then. It's time. There's an infection. Go to the hospital. Get your antibiotics. Because the next day I woke up with this. And that's the end of it. I'm just fucked. So here I am, like literally, I feel like I'm facing mortality. I feel like I'm facing my mortality. I don't want to stay in the house anymore, right? And I'm everybody wants to quarantine. They're all saying, stay inside, stay inside. I seen a video today where a guy said you could die just by who you hook up with today. Like comparing it to HIV. I'm sorry, brother, you're not going to die. You're not going to die from it. You might get it. You might already have it. You're not going to die from it. Best way to get rid of this thing is herd immunity. Just got to let everybody get it. Fuck it. We'll develop immunities. There's viruses out there and there's diseases out there that we as beings are stronger than, and they can't get into our system. And we fought them off through many, 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 many years of evolution. And now, just because we're some advanced species on this planet, we cannot ignore that evolution takes time. And everything takes time. And if we keep rushing and trying to make everything happen quickly, we're going to miss it all. You're only here once. You're only here once. Look at my face. Animal out.